Hi, this is Andy Bower at Object Arts. This is part 3 in a series of 5-minute videos on how to use the Aragon 3D experimental platform for Dolphin Smalltalk. I thought in this video it might be quite fun to take a look at how the physics works. So let's place a couple of objects into our scene, going to the miscellaneous category, and let's drop a couple of these crates into the window. Okay, let's move up a bit closer to these. Okay, now initially both of these objects are created with physics turned off. If we take a look at them in the properties window, you'll see that they have no physics at all. So let's select one of these objects and let's turn its physics to, well, before we do that, actually, let's select one of these objects and just holding the Alt key down, drag it above the ground. And you can see that it doesn't respond to the gravity in the scene. If we now go and turn its physics on, make it a movable object, you'll see that it drops to the floor. If we now drag this object up and over this one here and drop it, you'll see it falls straight through. That's because there's no physics applied to this object here. If we want the two to interact, then we must turn the physics on for this one as well. So let's select that, go to its physics property, and we'll make it a movable object as well. I'll come to the difference between movable and static in a minute. So now, if we pick this object up and drop it over this one, you see the two interact and do what we'd expect. Now, let me show you with another object how the static physics works. So if we create, for example, a cylinder, okay, let's just to make it a bit more interesting, let's give it a colour. Double click on the material. Let's make it a pink cylinder. Okay. And let's also rotate it through 90 degrees. So we'll select its rotation and select and type in 90. And now this cylinder has been rotated. Holding the control key down using the mouse, we can rotate it again. Okay. Now, at the moment, there's no physics turned on with this. So if we pick up our cube and drop it, it does fall straight through. This is what we expect. But if we turn the physics on for the, I'm just wondering what these white lines are. This is because I've got physics debug turned on. Let me just turn that off. There we go, that's better. So if we now go in here and we choose movable physics for the cylinder, okay, you notice it now springs up and rests on the ground. So if we drop our box over the top of this now, oops, missed it. You notice the two interact and the cylinder is pushed away. Now, if we turn the cylinder to have static object physics, click on its physics property, generally when you're changing between the different types you have to go through none first. Let's make it a static object. Now, when we drop the box on top of it, you see the box still reacts, but the cylinder is now static and fixed. Okay, so that is an introduction to the physics facilities in the Aragon system. Obviously there's a lot more stuff you can do with it, but I think it should give you a bit of a flavour for what can be done.